And hello everybody, and welcome to another Teacher Talk session today. And today we have a really important teacher trainer, and she is from England, but now she is in Cairo, and her name is Amanda Gamble. Maybe some of you know her and maybe not, but this session is going to be a really joyful session. It's going to be a really exciting and interesting sessions. And I'm waiting for her to come and to join our session. When she comes, we are going to start our session. And sorry for this, just a moment. We have a kind of problem here, so sorry. Now okay. I'm so sorry for this. Yes. Now she's here. I'm going to invite her. So sorry for this situation. Hello, Amanda.
Hello, Amanda.
It's
Hi,
good to
Volkan.
see you.
How are you?
It's good to see you.
Nice to see you too. How are you?
Great to see you after a long time, and the having you in this live station, Teacher Talk, great feeling.
Great feeling.
Firstly, it's really great to see you, and I would like to say thank you, firstly, to accept my invitation to join the Teacher Talk session. It makes me really happy, and I'm sure that our listeners is going to, they are also going to enjoy this session too. How are you?
It's nice to see some names that I recognize going up on the screen.
Yeah, you are going to see that. And if you are ready, and we can start. But I think I cannot hear your voice is so deep.
Do you want me to try and use my? Oh, sorry. Do you want me to try and use my earphones?
Yeah, if you have it, maybe we can hear you much better.
Just a second then.
Okay.
I need to
Okay. We can wait.
Please wait, yes. Bear with me.
No, it's okay. We can wait. No problem. Because also, it's echoing a little bit. Yes.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
Good, I can hear you better as well.
Yeah, great, wonderful. Okay, so Amanda, I think we can start. All right.
All right.
Yeah, sure. And now, can you tell us about yourself?
Right. Okay, I can try and do that. Gosh, where to start? I've been teaching since 1995. I trained to be a primary school teacher. That was my kind of dream to work with kids. it didn't quite happen because it was difficult to find a job in the UK after I graduated. So then I started just kind of by pure accident, really, looking at jobs abroad. And I found a job in Finland, which was actually teaching children, kindergarten children.
Wow.
So I went off there for 6 months. And that was kind of the start of it all, really. Once I kind of got into the idea of teaching English as a foreign language, the idea of going back to the UK and teaching in the UK just didn't inspire me. So then after Finland, I went to Japan and I taught there for a year. And then, of course, I came to Turkey.
Yes.
And, you know, I was there for about 20 years in Turkey.
Yeah, I know.
And then a few sort of things here and there. I spent a year in Ireland. And then I came here to Cairo in 2016.
Yeah. And from that time, I think you are still in Cairo. Yeah.
I'm still here in Cairo. Yeah.
Okay, it's great. Wow, it's a very long journey. Yeah, from that country, to other country to teach. Wow. You are kind of dedicated. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm one of those people that kind of got into this business because they enjoy language and teaching rather than because they enjoy traveling.
Yes.
But of course, I've realized that actually the traveling side of it is, of course, a nice benefit.
Yeah, wonderful.
Although I haven't traveled probably as much as some teachers have, because of course I stayed for 20 years in Turkey. So, yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. So my other question, can I move? Another question?
Yeah, of course. Please go ahead.
So what was your favorite moment or experience in your own education?
I actually think I'm not sure if it's my favorite, but probably the most memorable was when I passed the Delta.
Wow.
Because I really, it was kind of course, it was a very tough journey. And when I applied for the Delta, the person who interviewed me basically said, "I don't think you can pass this course." And I said, "Oh, right, thanks."
Wow.
Yeah, but I was accepted. And I did my Delta in Poland. And when I arrived, the guy who interviewed me was my first tutor. And I thought, this is not what I need. Anyway, I struggled. I struggled through the course. It was the intensive version of the course before it went modular. And yeah, it was a very difficult journey. It was a very enjoyable one, and I learned a lot. But then, kind of coming towards the end of it, I got my original tutor back, and he kind of looked at me and sort of went, "Well, I suppose you've done okay." I was like, "Yeah, you're really encouraging. That's great." And then when I took the exam, which was but God knows how. I really didn't expect to pass, but yeah, I worked hard and I kind of followed all the strategies that you should try to do for taking exams, because I hate exams. I'm not good at them. I'm really not good at them. So yeah, so that was definitely my kind of most memorable experience. I think just getting that result and thinking, I don't have to take that exam again.
Wow. So it's a very, very memorable moment for you, I think. It's very wonderful.
Definitely.
And my other question is about your current institution. Can you tell us about your current institution, if it is possible, of course? What kind of things you are doing there?
Well, I'm kind of not really with an institution at the moment. I've started working freelance here in Cairo. But I originally came here to Cairo to work for the British Council, and that's
Yep.
You still with me?
Hello?
Okay. Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah. So I've been working with the British Council as a teacher mentor. So there's a program that they run here for newly qualified teachers to support them through their first year of teaching. Because normally, of course, to work for the British Council, you need experience. But because the teaching operation is so huge here in Cairo, because there are 5 branches across Egypt, it's not possible to get the experienced teachers all the time. So they have to employ inexperienced teachers. So yeah, my job was to kind of help and support them in their first year. So observing their lessons, giving them feedback, input sessions, weekly input sessions,
Wow.
not always given by me, but so yeah, it's quite an intensive program really for the teachers. But it's a good program. It's something that they all benefit from, and you
It's
can
very-
see that you can see
it's a
their
tough
development
program.
by the end of it. It is
Yeah.
pretty tough, I think, for them and for us as well, because of course we've got however many teachers to look after. So yeah, but no, it was something that I really, really enjoyed doing, and just seeing teachers to develop, because of course one of the things when you work on a CELTA course, you see teachers develop in a very short time, but which is of course great and inspiring and everything. But it's good to see them develop over a longer period of time. So yeah, it was really kind of satisfying to see how some teachers, came in maybe not so confident and with so much experience, and then by the end, they were really good teachers, So
Great.
it was
Wonderful.
a really interesting program to work on.
Wow, it's a great program. I think I heard that. Yeah.
Mm.
Good luck. And my other question is about where you are there. Like, what are the advantages and disadvantages of working in Cairo?
Yeah, this is a bit of a difficult question to answer.
It's a little bit political. Be careful about your answers.
Well, yeah, I will be. Yeah. I mean, one of the advantages is that I found it quite easy to settle here, because actually it's not so different to Turkey. I mean, obviously there are differences, but it's kind of been, it was easy for me to kind of settle in and kind of be used to things going on around me, and the culture and the food and everything. So that was definitely one advantage. Another great advantage personally for me is that so many people speak English here.
Wow, wonderful.
Which is great, but then on the downside, it means that I've been very lazy and I've not learned any Arabic. But yeah, the kind of what's the word I'm looking for? The attitude towards English here is really good. People see it as a life skill. They believe that it's important to learn English in order to develop themselves, to be able to work in international companies or whatever. So yeah, so it's been great to work with Egyptian students, because when I first came here, I was also teaching a little bit, so I wasn't just training, I was working with students as well, and of course that was quite an eye-opener for me, because I'd been so used to teaching Turkish students, and suddenly I was in a completely different environment with not being able to speak any of the language of my students,
Yes.
which was a bit scary to begin with, but
it was not you were expecting. It was, I think.
Yeah.
It was better.
Well, I mean, some things were kind of as I expected, but and again, of course, because I mean, there's a lot of similarity between, or there are a lot of Turkish words in Arabic, or Arabic words in Turkish, should I say?
Yes. Lots of words, as you said.
Yeah. So often the students would be saying something in Arabic, and I'd just pick up one little word, and I think, okay, they're talking about sentence, or they're talking about adjective or something, because I recognize the word, you know.
Yeah.
So no, it's been very interesting to work here.
Yeah. What about Arabic? Have you learned something?
I have to admit, I've been very bad at learning.
Yeah, I see. I got it. Okay.
Well, partly because I've not really had any time. I know that's not an excuse, but yeah, I've been super busy with everything. So and of course, because I say so many people speak English, I've been allowed to get away with not speaking Arabic.
Okay,
even the guy cleaning the street can speak a bit of English, you know. So
wow.
Yeah.
Great then. So it's easy for you to, you know, get used to the environment.
Definitely. Okay. I think I got used to it pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's great to hear that. And Amanda, my next question is about distant learning. What is your opinion about distant learning?
I'm actually quite an advocate of distance learning. I think that it's because one of the great things about distance learning, obviously, is that it makes learning available to people who maybe wouldn't be able to do it otherwise. So I think there are many more opportunities for people if they can follow a distance learning program. I mean, actually, quite a lot of when I thought about this before, I've actually done quite a lot of my education has been through distance learning. So before I did my Delta, I did a diploma in TESOL. That was completely distance learning, and to the point like it was kind of very old fashioned, that it was by post, not even via internet, you know. Because it was a long time ago. So I did and then a long time ago, yeah. And then I did a management diploma that was completely distance learning. I'm doing my master's now, which is also distance learning. So yeah, I mean, I think of course one of the problems about distance learning is being motivated and kind of staying on track with it. I think that's difficult. And for some people, obviously, it's not the best way to learn, because they like to be around people and they learn from, you know, they learn being with other people. So of course, like everything, there are some downsides to it, but yeah, I think that the fact that now there are a lot more distance learning opportunities available, I think nowadays teachers have a lot more options than they used to have, particularly for example, when I first started. Yeah, I can still hear you, yeah.
Because sometimes the connection is gone and come back sometimes. And how the situation with COVID-19 has changed in teaching over there? Like what kind of things, what kind of instruments you are using there?
Well, I mean, I think like everywhere, all teachers have kind of had to learn very quickly about how to teach online, myself included. I mean, I was kind of lucky that I had some experience of working online before this situation, and I'd already taken like a certificate in online teaching. But that was quite a long time ago, so kind of everything that I'm sure I learned on that course just didn't kind of register in my head. once we went into lockdown. Yeah, so I mean, of course, we've all had to get used to using all these different applications: Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Instagram,
Instagram,
all these different, all these different things. And yeah, I mean, obviously, it's been a huge learning curve, I think, for everybody. And of course, it's affected things.
Yeah.
Here, you know, and everywhere, hasn't it?
It's everywhere, like.
So yeah, I mean, one of the things that I've been busy with is an online CELTA, a fully online CELTA. So that's been a very interesting experience to kind of see how that was all going to work, because I think when Cambridge announced that we could do online CELTAs, fully online CELTAs, many of us were very, very skeptical about whether the qualification would be kind of the same thing. But in actual fact, it's not so different, we've realized. I mean, I'm sure there are still some people who are kind of against it. But I've kind of come to think that actually doing CELTA online is fine, you know, and it's actually, in some ways, a little bit.
Yeah, I see. I got it. It's good. And now, my next question is, like, as a teacher trainer, what kind of support do you provide for the teachers in this period?
Well, I mean, I've not really been supporting teachers.
I think we have. Hello?
Yes, can you still hear me?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, I can.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I think the main way that I've been supporting teachers is through CELTA. So familiarizing them with Zoom, familiarizing them with like virtual learning environments, but trying to keep it as simple as possible, because I think that's one of the things that maybe we've got a little bit disillusioned about, maybe, when it comes to online learning. You know, we've got enough to worry about with managing the virtual classroom, as it were, without then trying to do all these extra things. So as I say to teachers in a face-to-face classroom, just keep it simple. And I think the same goes for teaching online as well. And maybe even more so, it's important to just keep things simple and not try to, you know, have all these different applications going on, because it just gets crazy.
I see. Yeah, it's very, you know, difficult situation. And my other question, thank you for that answer. And so, what kind of activities can you suggest to the teachers to use in distant learning in this period?
Well, I think that really the activities that we've been using in our face-to-face classrooms are equally usable online. Of course, maybe they need some kind of adaptation to make them work better online. But again, from doing the CELTA, I've kind of realized that, most of the things that I was able to do in the face-to-face classroom, I was still able to do online. So, there are some things clearly we can't do. So we can't do running dictations, for example, because of course that's not going to work. But for many of the activities I think that we would do, in a face-to-face classroom, we can equally do them. We can equally do them online. So I actually don't think that there's been much of a change in the type of activities that we do. Okay, maybe, I mean, I'm thinking particularly from teaching adults, maybe it's a little bit different with teaching kids. But I haven't kind of had that experience during this situation. So, yeah, I imagine that's a bit more complicated. But I think when it comes to teaching adults, basically, yeah, we can just use the same kind of activities, but with a bit of adaptation.
With the,
Would you agree with that, Volkan? What do you think?
Sure. I mean, you are right. We can, as you said, and we can make some adaptations, and we can change the way we use the activities in face-to-face activity. When we use the activities in face-to-face class, and we can use them in, as you said, distant learning. But we have to adapt for distant learning. As you said, we cannot use every activity in distant learning because it's not suitable for distant learning. As you said, like, you know, you just give an example, like running dictation. So it is a little bit, I think, impossible to use it. Where they gonna run? Yeah, it's impossible for them to come back. They cannot run anywhere. But yeah, it's simple, maybe changing the way we apply the activities, and we can use them. As you said, you are. I agree with you.
Definitely.
But you know, the activities that we have, that we choose, we should be careful about them, because for the level, for the grades, and for their background, it should, you know, we should be careful about them. That's what I'm thinking.
But again, that would be the same in a face-to-face classroom, wouldn't it? You think carefully about the level, age group, or less.
Yeah. Hello. This things happen, but this connection, the internet connection these days, really happening a lot. So I don't say about it, but yeah, she has gone, and I think I'm gonna invite her again from here. Sorry for this. Yes, I'm waiting Amanda to come back. Just here, and she comes back here. Yes. So sorry for this one. We were really, you know, talking really nicely. Yes. Now she has returned. Yes. She's coming. Yes. Hello?
Sorry. Hi.
No, it's okay. This can happen. That's not a problem. It's, you know, the connection problem. Yeah, it can happen anywhere, anytime. You know, it's not a problem. So, and we were talking about the activities that we apply for the distance learning. But I think it's okay that you have mentioned the ideas. So my other question, can I move the other one?
Yeah, please do.
And my other one, what do you think about teachers' professional development, and what can teachers do for their professional development, especially these days?
Well, I mean, again, I think, you know, teachers are pretty lucky with what's available to them these days in terms of professional development. I mean, you know, like when I first started teaching, it was, you know, there really wasn't very much to do at all. Whereas now it's almost kind of gone the other way. There are too many things, I think, to choose from. And maybe in some ways that might make it difficult for teachers to know what's the best thing to do. Because online conferences, and of course tons of websites and blogs that they can follow. And then, of course, lots and lots and lots of different courses that are available, many of which are free nowadays. So I think, yeah, the kind of opportunities for teachers to develop themselves these days is phenomenal. But maybe, as I say, what's maybe a bit difficult is then knowing which thing to choose, and knowing whether the course is really going to help them, or if it's actually going to be worth doing, or this kind of thing.
I see.
But
I
yeah,
understand.
definitely so much out there.
Yeah, as you said, there are lots of opportunities, especially these days, as you said. Like there are many, providers to I mean, like as a maybe the British Council, like Cambridge and Oxford and other lots of Express and lots of and other, the educator. I mean, the online pro systems, they support us, and thanks to them, we have lots of
Absolutely.
opportunities. Yeah. And my my other question is, what is the changing role of the teacher, and how do we support the new role? Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is an interesting question. Yeah, I mean, I think, I mean, even in face-to-face teaching, we were, of course, encouraging teachers to teach communicatively and to teach in a student-centered way, and to try and facilitate learning.
Yes.
And I think with the move online, that's become even more important. So I think, yeah, teachers today definitely need to know how to facilitate learning. I think, yeah, we've come a long way in that, we know now that teaching isn't the teacher standing at the front of the class and kind of spoon feeding stuff to the students. It's giving them the tools to know what to do and how to learn, and then them. And I think, yeah, one of the good things maybe to come out of this online situation that we found ourselves in is I think that students have probably had to become a lot more autonomous.
Yeah, autonomous. That's the
And
important key word.
yeah, I think they've had no choice really but to become more autonomous, which of course is a great thing, because then that means that they can go off and try and find things out for themselves, and
Yeah,
which will
definitely.
make, of course, learning much more memorable than if their teacher just tells them something. So I think there's quite a lot of positive things, I think, coming
Yeah,
out of this situation.
yeah. So can we say that this, the distant learning, it's give us, I mean, chance to us to make the students autonomous learner? Can we say
Definitely.
that?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I think it's definitely made it easier to encourage autonomy, and probably also in some ways kind of a requirement, that
Yeah.
if students don't take some responsibility, then it's going to be difficult for them. I mean, okay, it depends on the setup of the learning environment, obviously. In some cases, maybe they don't need to be so autonomous.
Yes.
But yeah, I think, if particularly if we're thinking about let's say blended learning, or
Yes.
flipped learning, then definitely some kind of autonomy is necessary for that.
I see. I see. Okay. Thank you. And my other question is about, like, what do you think about the future of education? It's
Yeah.
a little bit, a hard question to answer maybe. difficult to guess.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is difficult to know exactly what's going to happen, but I mean, I think even before COVID, we were
Uh-huh.
seeing quite big changes, I think, in education anyway. So yeah, blended learning was becoming more popular. Certainly, flipped classroom was
Yes.
becoming more popular. Um, and I think now that we've seen that online learning can be effective and can
Yeah.
work. Okay, maybe not for every teacher and maybe not for every student, but
Mm-hmm.
let's face it, I think we've seen some positive outcome from this. Then I guess that's probably what the future of education is going to be. That
Mm-hmm.
we're going to have a lot more opportunities for synchronous and asynchronous learning
Yes.
happening, and it's not always necessarily going to be within a face-to-face classroom. Technology is going to play, I think, a much bigger part in our
In
education system
education. Mm-hmm.
than probably ever before.
Yeah. So it will be very, different. The future is waiting for us, I think, about the
I
education. With,
think,
I mean, combining this kind
yeah,
of, can we say that all of them that like integrate each other, like I mean, online teaching and face-to-face teaching, and the other
yeah,
teaching styles. They all, the kind of a mix up, something like that.
yeah. I mean, I think a nice kind of ideal situation or environment would be exactly a mixture of all of those. So some face-to-face teaching, some online lessons, and then
Mm-hmm.
also offline lessons or
Yeah.
offline learning, let's say. And I think,
Offline
yeah,
learning
if we
lesson.
can maybe combine all those three
Mm-hmm.
together, then maybe that would kind of benefit every kind of student, because some are going to prefer face to face, some are going to prefer
Mm-hmm.
the live lessons, and some are going to prefer offline. So hopefully it will
Offline.
kind of target everybody.
Yeah, it can be, depends on the situation. I see.
Well, of course, of course.
Yeah. Okay. So I wonder, what's your motto?
Um,
Probably you have one.
well, I'm not sure I've ever really thought about a motto, but now
So
that I've needed to think about it,
okay.
no, I
So
think I
okay.
think
So
I no, I've got one. I can tell you one.
okay.
I think, yeah, I think my motto is that there's always something new to learn, and that we all can learn from each other.
All
And I
can learn
think,
from each other. Yeah.
yeah, particularly that last one, that last part, I think, because I think we've seen, again, since this whole situation, that, you know, someone who's been working in this field for a long time has got certain knowledge about certain things, but yet,
Mm-hmm.
new people coming into the profession, particularly younger people who are very tech savvy, have
Uh-huh.
got a lot of, ideas
Yes.
and can be very inspiring. I mean, I know, for example, for this recent CELTA course that I just did,
Mm-hmm.
I definitely learned things from my candidates. I learned
I
things
see.
about using technology, or I learned maybe some things about teaching, or some
Mm-hmm.
activities or whatever that were new to me. And I think that's one of the great things about being a teacher, that
Yeah. Of course.
we can all learn from each other, and probably,
Yeah.
of course, from our students as well, not just from other
Sure.
teachers. And I think, that's, I say, one of the great things about this job, and why it's a kind of career, I think, that you can stay in for a long time,
Yes.
because
Exactly.
there's always something new to learn. There's
Yeah.
always something different, some kind of new idea coming up. And that's definitely.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So my other question is, do you think the current way of do you think the current way of educating children fully prepares them for the needs of 21st century? Do you want to repeat
Yeah,
the question?
just repeat
I
the
mean,
question. Yeah, please.
do you think the current way of educating children fully prepares them for the needs of the 21st century?
Again, I think that's a really difficult question to answer because I think it, obviously it depends a lot on the situation that the children are learning in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think there's a lot of opportunities available
Mm-hmm.
to help students become kind of, like, say, global citizens and citizens of
Yes.
the 21st century and have all these wonderful life skills. But it's whether teachers give students the opportunity to really explore those skills. And again, as I say, I'm sure in some places that's happening really well, and then in other places maybe not so much. But yeah, I mean, I think it's important to make children aware of the fact that
Yeah.
that they have to think critically, that they have to work with each other to support each other. That of course communication is key to everything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I guess we've got some kind of
Yes.
ideals about how we want our children to be
Yeah.
taught, but it's whether it's actually happening or not is another matter.
I see. Great. Thank you. Yeah, totally. I agree. I agree. Your ideas. Thank you very much. And my other question is, I think I'm not, the pushing you a lot with my questions. I try to choose the most suitable questions to ask, And my other question is, what do you think of the most exciting or effective learning environment should be? Hello? I think again we have a kind of connection problem. But the problem is, I think, the from the internet uh, from car. Hello,
Okay.
Amanda,
Yeah.
can you hear us?
Yeah. Ask. I
Okay.
can. Yeah.
And
Ask your question again.
what do you think of the most exciting or effective learning environment should be? Keep well given teaching. Yes, and again, this happens. I'm really sorry about it. So sorry, I'm waiting. Yeah, again, so sorry about it. This thing can happen, but we cannot do anything about it. We cannot do anything about it because it's not in our hand to change this connection style. Yeah, okay. Here is it again. Hello?
Hello.
It's not a problem that we cannot do anything about it. So my question is about, like, what do you think of the most exciting or effective uh, learning environment should be?
This is a very difficult question, Volkan. Well, I think, like I said before, I think that what we're going to see is a mixture of face-to-face teaching, live online teaching, and offline teaching. And I think, yeah, maybe those three elements working together will be effective. Because I think now, since we've been working and teaching online, I think, of course, many people or many teachers are going back to face-to-face teaching, and are probably going to find it a bit difficult after having, being out of the classroom for such a long time.
Almost 6 or 7 months.
Exactly. So I'm sure that people are kind of excited about getting back to face-to-face teaching, and of course, yes, I think, of course, if we have the choice, then I'm sure all of us probably would enjoy just being in the classroom with the students. But I think from a kind of practical point of view, that's not maybe always going to be possible. And if we think about, places like Istanbul or here in Cairo that are such huge cities, it's difficult for people to always travel across the city to get to their language lessons. So of course, offering something online is going to be beneficial. Not beneficial, but certainly means that those students will be able to access learning, whereas otherwise they maybe couldn't.
I see.
So yeah, I think we are going to see kind of maybe in some cases each kind of way of learning will run separately. So we'll have face-to-face classes completely, and we'll have live classes completely. But I reckon many schools are going to go down the line of combining those things together.
I see.
I think so.
Okay, thank you. And what about the government? What role do you think government should play in education?
Gosh, you're asking really difficult questions now, Volkan.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose the most important role that the government have to play is a financial role, right? They have to provide money so that schools can, have the equipment that they need, so that they can operate in the way that they want. Although, of course, if we are moving towards more online teaching, then maybe upkeep of premises is not going to be so important anymore. But then supplying teachers with tablets or laptops or whatever is maybe then what the government might need to be thinking about. So yeah, I guess the most important role that they have is a financial one.
Financially, the government should support the schools, you mean? Okay.
Absolutely.
Great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So my other question is, this is not difficult. This is really easy. What does an educated person look like today for you?
I'm not sure this is so easy, really, Volkan. I think no, it's not an easy question. No, I think an educated person today is probably, or has to be, someone who is tech savvy. In order, of course, to be able to access the stuff that's out there. So I think that's important. If you're not tech savvy, of course, you can still learn. But I think if we're thinking about young people, then I think that's an important element. And And I think another important part of a good educated person today is that they need to be analytical, and they need to be critical. They need to think critically. You know, I mean, because there is so much out there, there's so much on the internet.
Lots of exactly.
We really need to kind of look at things with a critical eye to know whether, or to come to the conclusion whether it's something that we can believe or not. And yeah, it's kind of so easy to be swayed by something that actually maybe is not true. And yeah, that as I say, there's so much out there these days that I think this is a really important skill that I think all educated people need to have. They need to think critically, and I mean, I certainly, for me, it's something that I've had to learn a lot over the last kind of few years, because definitely when I was at school we weren't encouraged to think critically. I don't think so anyway.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah,
I see. Thank you. Yeah, it's a really wonderful. I think the same. Like as you said, we have to learn to look to a different point of view, not in a one way. As you said, thinking differently. I think outside the box, something like this,
absolutely.
a different way. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that there are many ways to do one thing.
Exactly. And my last two questions, okay? And then we're gonna stop these live sessions, all right? The first one is think about your period that you spend in Turkey, and think about your time that you spent in Cairo. So when you compare them, yeah, which one is better?
Oh, I'm not sure I can say which is necessarily better, because they've both had their, you know, their good sides and their downsides. And of course, I've only been here a few years, so you know, I mean, obviously, I was a lot longer in Turkey. So yeah.
So I understand. You want to say that the Turkey's time is much better than you. You spent lots of time, nearly 20 years in it. Probably you were all in Israel, huh? As far as I remember, the whole.
Say that again. Sorry.
Probably you spent all the time in Turkey, in Istanbul and Izmir, I think, huh?
And Ankara. I was in Ankara for 5 years as well.
Yeah. But most of the time you were in.
I was 5 years in Ankara, 10 in Istanbul, and then 5 in Izmir.
I see. Great, wonderful. Okay, Amanda. And before we stop our live sessions, what would you like to say to all the teachers around the world? As a couple sentence, yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well, I think, yeah, we definitely have to try and take something positive out of the situation that we found ourselves in over the last 6 or 7 months. That's not always going to be so easy, because of course it's been a difficult time, right? We've all suffered one way or another, either mentally or whatever, or people losing their jobs. And of course, yeah, as I say, of course it's been a very tough time, but and who knows when we're going to kind of come out of the other side. But I think that one of the things to kind of take from this is that, yeah, we can learn in very many different ways. It doesn't have to be just in a face-to-face classroom. We've seen definitely that online learning can be effective. Okay, we probably need to learn a lot more about it in order to make it work even better. And I guess that's what what we need to do now. We need to look into ways to make online learning work better for us, how to make sure that we don't kind of get burned out from
Yes.
online learning, you know.
Yeah,
Because I think one thing that we found is, of course, sitting in front of a screen for a long
Yeah.
time is
You
difficult.
are right.
But yeah, I think I think definitely something positive has to come out of this, and I think there's definitely a future,
Yeah,
a big future for online learning.
I see that. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, that's all. Thank you very much, Amanda. Yeah, especially again accepting my invitation for this live session, and it was a really great time to speak here with you. I enjoyed it, and it was really, great to listen to you after a long time. Again, and especially not not here, not alive, but actually in online environment. So thanks to the Instagram that give this chance to us to see each
Yes.
other in a live again. And thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for accepting accepting my invitation and your ideas, your suggestions for everything. I hope to see you as soon
You're
as
very
possible
welcome.
in the future, in the real,
In real life.
yeah,
Yes.
in real life,
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
future. Thank you very much, Amanda.
Well,
It was
if
really nice.
I come to Izmir, I will definitely let you know.
Yeah, probably, definitely. You have some, they say, Amanda, come back to Turkey. They say you have
I
really
know, I've seen that. Thank you, Sifki.
great to listen to Amanda. It had been a while. Yeah, some of you, nice to talk.
It has been a while, Dudem. Thank you.
And thank you very much the people who join us and to listen and to spend your time with us. And that was all
Yes,
for
definitely.
today.
Thank you.
And I hope to have it to do something different in the future with you again if we have a chance. And to everybody
Absolutely.
from around the world, thank you very much. And that's all. And take care of
All
yourself,
right,
Amanda.
thank you.
Be careful in
You
Cairo
too.
because we need
You
you.
too, Volkan.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you
Okay.
very much, Volkan.
And
Take care.
good evening. Take care. And bye bye. And bye bye,
Good
everybody.
night.
Take care.
Bye bye,
Goodbye.
everybody. Thank you.
Bye.